Hey everyone, how are you? Let me fix this camera here. Okay, hi, it's Soraya here. I will wait just a quick second and make sure that we are broadcasting and that people are in the group, and we will get going. Okay, there we go. It's in the group. Fantastic. All right. Hi guys, how are you? Hey Marilyn. Sorry, let me adjust this camera real quick. All right, there we go. Okay, Facebook Live problems. Okay guys, hi, I see that people are coming into the group. I'm gonna get started because we have a lot of ground to cover. Oh my Lord, this is the class that I've been waiting to teach. I'm so excited. I have so much good information for you guys, so I want you to brace yourselves. Hopefully you are in some comfy pants and somewhere where you can pay attention, because I am going to give you so much information right now, but you won't need to take notes, and here's why. I'm gonna give you guys a treat. I've never done this before, so I'm really excited. If you are listening to this, either live or on the replay, and you would like my notes, as well as a special handout on hormones, then I want you to comment below, yes, please. You don't have to do it now, but if you would like, I want you to comment, yes, please, and I will message you my notes and a really cool handout that I'm gonna cover tonight with you guys that has all sorts of good information on it, so you can pay attention to what I'm talking about and not be taking notes. So if you don't know who I am and you're new to the group, awesome. We've already got people saying yes, please. I am so excited. I'm going to be reminding people throughout the broadcast to say yes, please, and I will give you all of this information so that you guys can pay attention to what I'm talking about and not be distracted taking notes and asking, ask questions. Let's talk through this video and it'll be fun. Okay, guys? So if you don't know who I am Soraya Goddard. I live right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. And I am so excited that you guys are here tonight. If you're here, first of all, congratulations, because that means someone really cares about you and loves you enough that they invited you here to the group. Or some of you guys have just found us through a Facebook search because you're looking for information on non-toxic, healthy living. So either way, congratulations. And we're really, really honored that you are here with us and spending time with us tonight. We do classes every Wednesday and every Sunday. I had to think about that. And we cover a whole host of topics, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys some usable information, and I'm gonna share with you the struggles that I have gone through, because I guarantee you that many of you listening are either going through them or have gone through them before. Awesome. So many yes pleases. I am so excited. I'm gonna get to all of you. So give me just a little bit after this video ends, and then I'll just start messaging you guys. And some of you, if you're not Facebook friends with me, that's fine. It'll just go to your other folder. So make sure you check that. Okay, fantastic. I want this to be interactive, so I won't get to every single question during the class, but definitely if you have questions or you have things that you'd like to ask or just comment on, please do, because the more interactive, the more fun it is for me too. And if I don't get to it in the middle of the class, I will go back and I'll make sure that none of the comments go unanswered. Okay, so just an upfront disclaimer, I am not a doctor and I cannot diagnose anything for you. I know you guys know that, or if you didn't know that, now you do. You're gonna probably have questions about your specific cases, and I don't know that I'm gonna be able to answer them. What I can do is share with you some things that might help support healthy hormones, but what I can't do is say, like, if you've got this going on, validate that you have something specific going on, right? Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Hey, Nicole, I see all sorts of awesome people on here. Thank you so much. Again, if you want the notes, comment yes, please, either now or later, and I will send you all these notes plus a really cool handout about hormones. Okay, so how many of you, I want you to give me some hearts or some likes or say me or something to indicate if you've had one of these problems or are currently having one of these problems. Unexplained fatigue, weight gain, acne, sleep issues, moodiness, bloating or digestive issues, amenorrhea or some sort of hormonal or period problems that are not normal, or any of these actual diseases. anxiety and depression, arthritis, autoimmune issues, bone diseases, cancer, candida overgrowth, Crohn's disease, fatigue, heart disease, fertility challenges, irritable bowel syndrome, gluten sensitivity, skin issues or poor skin, thyroid disorders, ulcerative colitis, and unwanted weight gain or unwanted weight loss. How many of you guys have struggled with some of that, or you know somebody who has dealt with some of that? Like, all of these have one thing in common. Any guesses? Any guesses? Sorry, my nose is itching. Yeah, so the commonality in all of these things is that they're all, not always, but sometimes related to hormone disorders. Some of those very clearly are hormone disorders, but a lot of those you wouldn't guess have hormonal linkages. So things like autoimmune diseases, right? So many of those are related to hormones. So, okay, if you have one of those, you've struggled with one of those, and that is a very, very long list. Yeah, exactly right, Holly. I see that you guessed it. So many of those things have hormone challenges as the underlying root cause. So this video applies to men and women. I know most of this group are women, but it definitely applies to men too. And I know about a lot of these challenges because I have experienced a ton of these issues. So fatigue, weight gain, acne, sleep issues, hair loss, moodiness, bloating, amenorrhea. I've had all of that. And let me just tell you a little bit about my story. I've shared that on a couple videos here, but I'm actually in the Army, and I've been in the Army for over 18 years. And I joined the Army in September of 2000. So right before September 11th, a year before September 11th, and I did 4 years of training before that. It was in the 90s, and we had no idea that war was coming and that it was gonna be a decade of absolute chaos and craziness. And so, as you can imagine, I was under quite a bit of stress, and what ended up happening is I did not really understand how to take care of myself. I didn't understand how to manage that stress, and I certainly didn't understand how to live a lifestyle that was conducive to healthy hormones. And so stress plus some hormone underlying issues plus me not taking care of myself in a way that would help my hormones led to utter chaos. And at first I didn't notice it. I just thought I was tired because I was stressed and, working really hard at work and deploying and traveling all over the globe and doing crazy things. And I just attributed all of my exhaustion and fatigue and my poor skin to just kind of a crazy lifestyle. And little by little, my symptoms started getting worse. And you can't tell tonight, I have really dark, thick, curly hair. And it started falling out in clumps. I mean, not like I just shampooed my hair and it's coming out like normal, right? No, this was like chunks and patches were coming out of my head. I would get in bed at the end of the night and I was so physically exhausted, I was almost on the verge of tears, but I could not fall asleep. I could not fall asleep. Anxiety through the roof. I started to get bloated. I was gaining weight uncontrollably and losing weight uncontrollably, like the craziest things. I was gaining and losing 15 pounds in the span of a month, no matter what I was eating. And so all of that started to mess with my head. And ultimately, it was worse than just the physical challenges. It made me question everything. And so here's what I want you to hear. If you're struggling with some of this, number one, you're not alone. Like, I see you and I recognize that you're going through some stuff that you probably are pretty frustrated with right now. And I know what that feels like. It made me question my sanity. It made me wonder if this was how I was gonna feel the rest of my life. It made me wonder if I could ever feel good again. It made me question everything. I considered a career change from a job that I loved. I considered getting out of the Army and going to basically like a less stressful, less, something else. I didn't know what I was gonna look for, but I didn't know what I was gonna do, but I knew I couldn't live that way forever. And what had happened is that I went to all my doctors. And look, I actually work in military healthcare. I have amazing access to incredible well-meaning doctors. Incredible well-meaning doctors who took all sorts of tests and told me everything was fine. And the rage that went through my body when people told me that everything was fine and that I just needed to sleep more was undescribable. How many of you guys have ever gone to your doctor and told them that you are feeling some sort of symptoms and they said that you were fine? comment below and let me know, because this is really, really, really common. What I ended up doing is, out of desperation, going and finding a naturopath, okay? And I spent the next 2 years going to a naturopath every 30 days. I got my blood drawn every 30 days and basically became a human guinea pig, right? We tried absolutely everything. I spent money to do a hormone panel and a complete, just every panel that you can think of, and I paid for all of that out of pocket. I paid for every bit of it because my insurance through the military, my doctor said that I was fine, and they did not think that I needed anything. And again, I love physicians and I love healthcare, but we have some flaws in our system. We have some flaws in our system. And I didn't mean to go on a rant about healthcare, but I don't know if you guys know this, that when you get tested for labs in like a normal hospital setting, what they're doing is they're comparing you to the average person, okay? So your lab results are compared to the average person's lab results, right? So if you take a thyroid test, they're gonna compare you to the average results of people who are taking that same thyroid test. Well, guess what? We're not super healthy as a nation, right? Or even as a globe right now in Western society. So what might be okay or what might be average still might feel terrible, right? You might feel terrible even though your doctor is telling you that you feel, or that your tests are fine, your lab results are fine. And that's what happened to me. So I spent 2 years with a naturopath because she was the only one who would listen to me and actually take note of my symptoms. Overall, I spent $4,000 just in testing, not to include office visits and medications and new foods that I was trying and supplements. I probably spent $8,000 over the course of 2 years out of my pocket. And I don't know about you, but I was willing to do that. I was willing to pay whatever, and I'm thankful and grateful that I'm in a position that I could pay that, because most people are not in that position. And so I spent out of my savings a ton of money trying to figure out what happened. And guess what happened? I started to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And we really, month by month, chipped away at the underlying hormone issues that were causing all these challenges. And guess what I'm gonna do for you guys tonight? I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did. I'm gonna tell you absolutely everything that I did. And I'm gonna save you guys like $4,000. How does that sound? Sounds pretty good to me, right? I'm gonna give you the cheat codes. I'm gonna give you all my notes. I'm gonna give you everything I currently take to keep healthy, and all the recommendations. Does that sound okay? Give me some hearts and some likes and some thumbs up and all that good stuff if that sounds good to you. And if you're just hopping on, I mentioned this in the beginning, if you would like my notes, comment yes please on this video and I will message you with these notes, okay? All right, yeah, awesome, good. I hear you guys saying awesome. Because look here, I just feel so lucky, and I feel so just humbled that people actually allow me to share this kind of info with them. So here we go. I'm gonna teach you guys some basic knowledge about hormones that I have learned, and let's just start with the basics, okay? What are hormones? And I'm not trying to insult anyone's intelligence, but I want to talk to you guys really what are hormones. So a hormone is a chemical substance produced by an animal or a plant, and yes, plants actually produce hormones, which acts as a chemical messenger to help different parts of your body function in a coordinated way, okay? So it's a chemical substance produced by an animal or a plant which acts as a messenger through your body to help your organs or anything in your body function in a coordinated way. The body contains 100 different types of hormones that race through your bloodstream at the rate of thousands of billions of units per day. So your body is one big hormone raceway, and hormones are traveling all over and they're sending messages to control everything in your body. It controls your mood, it controls your heartbeat, your breathing. It controls when you sleep and you wake up. Your hormones control your blood pressure. Your hormones build your bones. They maintain your muscle tone. They lubricate your joints. They make your body produce energy and heat. How many of you guys are cold all the time? Symptom of unfunctioning hormones or some hormone imbalance, right? They govern your menstrual cycle if you're a woman, or your reproductive cycle if you're a man, or your reproductive organs, excuse me, if you're a man. No cycles there. They allow pregnancy and birth to occur. They fight stress. Hormones fight stress. Hormones prevent fatigue. Hormones calm anxiety. And hormones relieve depression. So they deal with all things mood and emotions. Hormones make and keep memories. How cool is that? Hormones make and keep your memories. I think that is amazing. Hormones soothe pain. Again, unbelievably amazing. Hormones control your sex drive and your virility. Hormones stimulate the brain and your immune system. And hormones basically make you who you are. Hormones control absolutely everything in your body. So if you're like me and you're listening to that and you're like, oh wow, hormones control everything, and some of those things on that list may not be functioning as well as I would like them to function. So that's a key that we need to dig deeper into, making sure that you have a great hormone balance, okay? Hormones actually determine how we age by controlling overall physical and mental health. So ultimately, if you want to live a young, vibrant, long, productive, amazing, fulfilled life, this is something we should be paying attention to. So I'm going to talk to you very quickly about, let's see, 6 major hormones. These are very, very commonly misunderstood hormones, but they are our major hormones in our body. And I'm gonna just very quickly go over this. And again, if you want these notes, don't take notes, just comment yes please below, and I'll go back into the video and I'll message every single person back with these notes and this little hormone cheat sheet, which outlines everything that I'm talking about, and you can save this and read it on your own time as well. First hormone I'm going to talk about is, and this is in no particular order, but these are all hormones that are in your life, okay? DHEA. So this is what a DHEA insufficiency looks like. It looks like decreased muscle strength. It looks like low sex drive in women. I know there are some of you guys who are dealing with that because that is so common. This looks like cellulite on thighs. This looks like, and a lot of cellulite is normal, don't mistake me there, but it could be a symptom of DHEA insufficiency. It looks like anxiousness, gloominess, people who might feel insecure and sad, and low energy. Okay, so that's DHEA. Another common hormone that's in our body is pregnenolone. And what does a pregnenolone insufficiency look like? This looks like you might have memory problems or poor concentration. You might have joint pain. You might have, this pregnenolone is kind of the mother hormone. And so what this might look like is that you have deficiency in other hormones as well. It also, if you have a pregnenolone insufficiency, this keeps you vulnerable to stress and depression, and a reduced capacity for physical exertion. So if you physically fatigue very easily and you think of yourself in generally good shape, or you have seen a rapid shift in your physical capacity for exertion, then this might be an issue for you. Okay, now let's talk about estrogen. This one, there are a lot of myths about estrogen insufficiency, okay? A lot of myths. This could look like, and not in every person, but this could look like vaginal dryness and a lack of sexual desire. This could look like when your breasts shrink and or sag. This could manifest itself in dry, irritated eyes. This also could manifest itself in a tendency towards depression. So really, really interesting. Also, some people have a lack of estrogen, and this really results in the lack of kind of more feminine curvature of the body, which is really interesting. So if you know someone who has a lack of estrogen, they start to take on more male tendencies. Not that they look like a man, but they will lose kind of a girlish figure, right? Okay, and a lot of this happens sometimes if you see people, like, have you ever seen someone who is a female bodybuilder on steroids, right? You can tell because they all of a sudden get that like really masculine jowl, right? That's obviously the way extreme form, but you can almost spot it sometimes. It's really fascinating. Okay, progesterone, this is such an important one. Progesterone, a progesterone efficiency, painful tender breasts prior to your period, estrogen dominance, okay? So this could be that you have If you have an insufficient progesterone, this could look like an overabundance of estrogen. This also could mean that you are obese or carrying weight in the lower half of your body, but not the upper half of your body. This could be poor sleeping habits, so you have trouble sleeping, and that you might get headaches and migraines. Really interesting. Epiphany says, oh my God, I wish I knew this stuff this morning prior to my physical. Yeah, right? Interesting. Well, we are here now. It's not too late. Don't worry, Epiphany. We're really glad you're here. Yeah, really interesting. Okay, so that was progesterone. I will tell you, progesterone is one of the things that was unfunctioning or out of balance in my body. And so I really struggled. That was where like I was carrying all sorts of, I was gaining like crazy weight in my thighs and stomach. It was nuts. Like stuff that I was like, I don't know why this is happening. Okay. A testosterone insufficiency. So believe it or not, we do have testosterone and we need testosterone to function as women. Of course, testosterone is typically thought of as a male hormone, but everybody has it. This, if you are low in testosterone, this could look like, again, a loss of sexual desire in both men and women. Lack of testosterone might be that you feel fatigued both day and night, that it tends towards depression, dry eyes, and oddly enough, wrinkles around your mouth and the corner of your eyes. Very interesting. So again, we have chemical messengers, these hormones in all different places of our body. We have them in our skin, we have them in our eyes, we have them in our muscles. So really interesting that some of this manifests as physical features, right? Last one that we'll talk about, and there are over 100 different hormones, and so I'm not going to be able to cover them all, but thyroid hormones, let's talk about that. So an insufficiency in thyroid hormones, and this is the other one that I had that I was dealing with. So for me, it was progesterone and thyroid. So an insufficient thyroid hormone, or that you have insufficient thyroid hormones, could look like you have cold hands and feet. Cold hands and feet. A lot of times we just joke that women are always cold. Guess what? That's not normal. Like that's not supposed to happen. That is a sign that we probably have some underlying hormone challenges and that our thyroid or our pituitary gland, one of the two, might be slowing down as we age. It could look like puffy eyelids and a swollen face. It could look like dry, rough, or sparse hair. Hello, hair falling out in chunks. Could look like weight gain. Could look like feeling tired. That was like a checklist of everything that I was going through. So how many of you guys have had any of those symptoms? Comment below and we will talk about what you can do. This is the good part where I tell you that there's good news ahead. So first of all, I have to tell you that number one, there's nothing wrong with you that you did, okay? So a lot of us women like to feel guilty about things and thinking that, oh, maybe I could have taken better care of myself, or if only I had known. Don't worry about that. You are here. We can help you. Like, yeah, so it sounds like some of you guys exactly are seeing that list and you know that that is something that you have struggled with. Typically, if you go to a physician and you tell them that you are frustrated with your symptoms, they are going to test you for something very easy like a TSH, which is just one indicator of a possible thyroid disorder. And if your labs are not in that perfect window, then they're basically going to tell you that you need to go on a synthetic hormone like Synthroid. And that's basically all they're going to tell you. You really have to get into some sort of naturopath or a homeopath or an osteopath or something like that for them to really start to dig in deeper. Sometimes if you get referred to an endocrinologist, they'll go a little bit deeper. But again, I even saw an endocrinologist. I ended up fighting with the chief of endocrinology at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center because they told me that I was fine because my tests were in that normal window. But guys, normal does not mean optimal. And if there's nothing else that you take from today, normal, that lab range, is not optimal. We want to get you into the optimal range, right? We want to get you feeling amazing. We want you to wake up. I'm 39 and I wake up feeling good. Like I do not feel like I'm 39. I feel like I'm 29 now. If you talked to me when I was 29, I would have told you that I felt like I was 49. So there is hope, right? There is hope. We want to help you. If you want to, make some changes, we want to help you get back to optimal. Okay, so where do you start if you know you have a problem? So I'm going to share with you guys 6 steps that I took, okay? I'm going to share with you 6 actionable steps, okay? And I'm looking over my list here. I'm gonna share with you the steps that in the order that I think are the most important. So number 1 being the most important, number 6, they're all important, but number 1 is the most important, okay? Number 1 is the most urgent, and we'll go through them. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk to you about what you can do, and then I'm gonna talk to you about some assistance if you feel like you need supplements. I will tell you, I tried every supplement on the planet. Guys, I wish I could show you. One of these days I'm gonna have to dig out like the receipts because I still have them. I was buying $500 of supplements a month, and most of them weren't working, but I would dig through and I would find like one of them that did, and then I would carry on. And ultimately, I ended up like going to bloggers. This was 2011, yeah, 10 and 11. And so if you kind of rewind to 2011, Instagram wasn't really a thing. Facebook was there, but people weren't really sharing the information like they do now on Facebook. And so the only thing that I could go to was blogs. Because there weren't really any good books about it. There were a couple here and there, but ultimately I was reading bloggers because that's the only thing I could go to. And I found an incredible blogger who made some recommendations on some supplements and some essential oils. And I was like, girl, I am throwing my checkbook at everything over here, and some of it's working and some of it's not, so I might as well try that. And guess what happened? Holy moly. I ditched every single other of my naturopath supplements and made all the changes to essential oils and supplements. And that was what I ultimately landed on. And guys, I'm just gonna tell you emotionally, like this changed my life. This changed my life in a way that I cannot describe to you. It took me from being hopeless and feeling like I was stuck. My hormone challenges were affecting my relationships. They were affecting my ability to show up at work. All of that. I mean, I could go in a deep, dark hole about how terrible I felt, but ultimately, thank God for this blogger. I had no idea who she was. I was just reading her blog and I really liked it. And so I was like, hey, grab me some oils and some essential oil supplements. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share with you 6 steps, and in each of those steps, I'm gonna share with you an action that you can take, as well as some related supplements and essential oils that relate to that step, okay? I hope that makes sense. So we'll dive right in. But first, before I go there, I wanna talk to you guys about what essential oils are and why I'm talking to you about them. Because some of you are like, okay, why would I be talking about this, right? Yeah, Ashley, finding a solution when you feel hopeless is just everything. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't like to get all emotional on these videos, but like, I felt terrible. Like I was in a deep, deep, deep dark place. And thank God I tried. Like I was like, give me whatever. I don't care what it is. If it works, I'll take it. So let's talk about essential oils for a quick second, because I'm going to make some oil recommendations when I go through each of these steps. So an essential oil is the liquid that comes from a plant, ultimately. If you ever, like when you were a kid, went into like the garden, I mean, not the garden, the lawn, grass, that's what I'm trying to say, and you like took out one of those little dandelions and you cracked it open and you saw that like milky substance that comes out, right? That's kind of the stuff that we're talking about. We're talking about the lifeblood of a plant. If you've ever grated or zested an orange, there's essential oils in the rind. Those are basically plant juices, okay? So they come from leaves and fruits and barks of a tree, and it's basically the plant's immune system, and it helps the plant stay alive. But why this is so important and why we're going to talk about that in terms of hormones is because when you distill or press a plant and get an essential oil out of that and you put that on your body, it ultimately soaks into your bloodstream, right? So you can put an essential oil on topically, or you can inhale that, or you can even ingest them. But ultimately, it's going to get into your body and your bloodstream. And what those essential oils do is they help support your health. They help support your health function, okay? So there's a difference between taking something to relieve a symptom and taking something that will help support function, okay? Very different concepts, and I hope you guys understand the difference. So when you have a headache and you take Aleve, that will help mask the root cause, but it doesn't help support the function of whatever created your headache, right? Now, if you might take an essential oil to help with your head tension or something like that, that's a different story. It's gonna get to the problem of like the root cause of what is causing your head to hurt. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I can't cover all the details in here, but I'm gonna make you some recommendations. Okay, enough said. You guys ready for the 6 steps? Let's get it. Okay, so number one, and the absolute most important step, sleep. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Okay. So some of you are like, I got it. I know that sleep is important, but I just can't get it. I will tell you that I have done research for almost a decade now. Personal experimentation, you name it. Focusing on sleep hygiene is the number one way that you can help your hormones, okay? So 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single day. Sometimes that means saying no to things. Sometimes that means readjusting your schedule. Sometimes that means finding a new job. Sometimes that means making drastic commitments and drastic sacrifices in your life. And that kind of sucks, but it's well worth it, because without sleep, here's why sleep is so important. Your body regenerates its hormones during your sleep. So you can do all the great things. You can supplement all day long. You can take everything on the planet. You can even take synthetic hormones. But if you are not letting your body sleep 7 to 8 hours and going through the appropriate cycles so that the hormones that your own body produces can regenerate, then you might as well not do anything. Like, that's just the truth. Sleep is where the hormones are created. Sleep is how you're gonna regenerate your body. It is absolutely the number one most important thing. So what happens if you struggle with sleep? Couple tips. Number one, make sure your room is completely dark, okay? No phones, no TVs. I know you guys know this stuff, but I'm gonna say it anyway. No phones, no TVs, no anything like that. If you've gotta put your cell phone in another room and get like an old school like clock, do that. Also helps to go to bed at the same time each night and get up at the same time each day, and that helps out with cortisol. So if you struggle with sleep, I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna share with you a couple things that you can do to help with sleep. And one of them is very common, and I have a whole table full of goodies that I'm gonna show with you guys here, or show you guys. We have a bunch of essential oils and supplements that could help. I didn't bring everything because I'm talking about quite a few, but there's a couple different essential oils that really help with sleep that actually support your body's ability to have restful sleep in the evening so that you can recharge, so that you can regenerate those hormones. Ashley, it's like 7 p.m. Girl, I love it. I love it. Lavender is amazing, okay? Lavender is absolutely amazing. The company that I get essential oils from has a couple different blends. One is called Rutavala. I know some of you guys on here use that, and it is incredible. It is like a drug. I have to like be really careful because I can't put it on until I'm like ready to go to bed. Another one is called Dreamcatcher. So there's all sorts of sleep blends. Lavender is a classic though, right? An absolute classic. And then for those people who really need a little bit of extra support, if you are looking for something a little bit stronger and you know you have severe insomnia, then there's a couple supplements that this same company based on essential oils has. One is called Sleep Essence and another is called ImmuPro. And I will give you this cheat sheet that has all of this information on it, so don't worry about it. And those have a little dose of melatonin. So if you are really looking for that, then you can get some hormone assisted sleep. Now melatonin is a hormone, and so you are basically forcing your body to go to sleep unnaturally. So it's great in the short term. It's definitely not the ideal situation in the long term. But if you are trying to get yourself back on a sleep cycle and you need that temporary assistance, that is a great supplement. It's also really good when you're traveling. If you're changing time zones and you're having trouble sleeping, things like that. Yes, some of you guys are like, yes, love that stuff. They are both so good, right? My husband is obsessed with ImmuPro. It is so good. Like when I take an ImmuPro, I take a quarter of one. I also, like, now that my hormones are good, I fall asleep really easily. So I can only take a quarter ImmuPro. Otherwise I'm like drugged. Okay, so that's sleep. That's tip number one. Ready for tip number two? Maintain a healthy stress level. Okay, how do you maintain a healthy stress level? Some of you guys are like, that is easier said than done. First thing you can do is keep a positive mindset. A positive mindset is absolutely everything. If you haven't read, what's the book by Carol Dweck? Is it called Mindset? Someone help me out. I'm sure one of you guys have read it. Anyways, keeping a positive mindset, a growth mindset, an abundant mindset is absolutely everything. If you're not really into the personal development world, that's fine, but you can probably find a lot of really good YouTube videos and affirmations and all sorts of good stuff, right? Okay, along with maintaining a healthy stress level, balanced emotional support. So we all need emotional support. Look, I am not a super emotional person naturally, like that's not where I like to go, but I take emotional support essential oils every single day. Every single day. I'm gonna show you guys my favorite. Well, my favorite two. Ready? My number one favorite is an oil called frankincense. When I am stressed, I just smell it out of the bottle. I lather it on me, put it on my neck, on my wrist. Put it on right now. So good. My next one, super self-explanatory. It's a little oil blend called Peace and Calming. Again, self-explanatory. Oh my God, so good. Okay, so those are my favorites. I use them every single day, have used them every day for years. Okay, maintain a healthy stress level. So we talked about positive mindset, balanced emotional support, and these oils, just so you guys know, oils actually, the smell of an essential oil positively affects your limbic system, okay? So it actually affects your hormones that deal with stress. Inhaling it does, putting it on your wrist. Yep, I see Linda is saying Valor. That's another really good essential oil blend for emotional support. There are lots of them out there. Those are a couple classics. Another tip on keeping balanced emotional support is saying no to things that aren't aligned with your goals and your wishes. This is hard. This is really, really hard. But when you realize that taking care of yourself, and I know so many of you guys understand this already, so I'm kind of preaching to the choir, but when we overcommit ourselves and we know that we can't fulfill those commitments, that is anxiety and stress inducing. And so saying no to things sometimes is the best emotional support possible. And then lastly, for emotional support, friends and social support. Having a support system, having people that you love who don't judge you, who you're not worried about seeing you in your deepest, darkest moments, having those people are amazingly calming for you and stress reducing. So that is fantastic. So a couple recommendations: frankincense, Peace and Calming. We have an oil blend called Stress Away. You'll hear more about that later. And B vitamins. I can't remember. Oh yeah, this is my favorite B vitamin supplement. This is called Super B. So not only does it have the best quality B vitamins, but it's got a whole lot of minerals, which are really important for your body to function well. And it's also got nutmeg essential oil, which is an essential oil that helps support adrenal function, which is stress related. So a B vitamin is fantastic. A really good quality B vitamin like this is amazing. I saw huge changes when I added that in, and I don't go a day without taking one of those. They're just amazing. Okay, so tip number 1, sleep. Tip number 2, maintain a healthy stress level. We got 4 more to go. Tip number 3, digestive health and gut health. All right, how many of you guys pay attention or even know what digestive health means? Give me some hearts if you do. Okay, here are my recommendations for overall digestion. If you did not know, most of the signals for your hormone repair come from your gut, from your intestines, from all of your intestinal lining. So if your food and your digestion is not on point, then your hormones will not be on point, okay? There is no mistake that there is causation. There is cause and effect with if you are eating a less than optimal diet, that you are more likely to have diseases and hormone dysfunctions and mood disorders and all of the terrible things that I talked about earlier. So you hear these stories about how when people change their diet to a super healthy diet, that all of this stuff goes away. Guys, it is not magic. That is not like voodooism, right? That is science. Your hormones are in your gut. Yeah, exactly right. I hear some of you guys like giving tips already, probiotics. So yes, your hormones are made and controlled with your digestion, okay? So you gotta get sleep and you gotta stay positive because that's kind of the bedrock. But the first big major physical thing that you should do is make sure that you pay attention to your gut. Okay, so first thing you can do is stop with the packaged food and start making your food, right? Just make your food at home. And what I mean by making your food at home is not like getting frozen pizzas, although those are delicious on an occasional basis. I am not hating you, trust me. What I mean by that is actually cooking whole foods. So getting fruits and vegetables, getting meats, seafoods, nuts, healthy fats, things like that, and actually stripping your diet down to foods that your grandmother, your great-grandmother, whatever, you're like, whoever a million years ago would recognize as food, okay? choose your foods. If you don't want to eat meat, that's fine. If you do want to eat meat, that's fine. If you don't like dairy, that whatever, right? Strip it down to just foods that actually have been traditional foods. So that would be step one. If that still doesn't help and you don't feel some digestive support, then I would recommend starting eliminating some things that are commonly, that are known to cause trouble in a lot of people. So the number one thing would be wheat. A lot of people, including me, find huge changes in their hormones when they eliminate wheat. So don't fall for the whole like gluten-free thing, because there's a lot of crappy foods that are gluten-free. Just eliminate all things wheat, right? You could even go so far as eliminate all things grain and just see how you feel. If it doesn't make a difference, you can always add it back in, right? Next things that a lot of people are not really good with, beans, dairy, and eggs. Those are all common things that people get, just have issues with for whatever reason. That's a whole different video, right? Not here to give you nutrition advice, but those are all things that can ruin your digestion. So once you find those foods that when you eliminate them, you feel better, sometimes it's just an energy thing that you feel, right? You don't necessarily notice a change in your gut, but you feel like, oh man, when I cut out all those grains, like all of a sudden my energy skyrocketed through the roof. Crazy. No, not crazy. It actually is connected, right? So for me, when I went through all of this, when my nutritionist had me do a strict elimination diet, I figured out that I don't do well on wheat. And overnight, my skin cleared up. Absolutely, literally, like 2 days later, no acne, and it went away. It was wild. It was absolutely wild. It was like a new person. So I would recommend that. Next thing, I think Charlotte and a couple people were recommending this, is taking a probiotic and ideally also a prebiotic. So what a probiotic is it's going to be a little capsule filled with good bacteria in your gut. You want that good bacteria in your gut so that it can basically support your gut lining, okay? It's going to help support your immune system, all that good stuff. A prebiotic is, in essence, a healthy sugar that is going to be in your gut so that when you add in a probiotic, those bacteria have something to eat and have something to breed with, right? Little things breeding in your stomach and your intestines. Sounds amazing. So the more healthy gut lining you have, the better your digestion is. So like for me now, if I go back in and I eat a piece of bread, I will blow up like a balloon and I can tell immediately it's terrible. So just mess around with that, right? Check it out, try it for 30 to 60 days and see what happens. Like it's not gonna kill you to cut anything out for 60 days. Next thing, sometimes you just need some support. So a probiotic is a great one. I'm gonna show you my favorite pre and probiotic. Oh my God, if you guys use this, you're gonna know and you're gonna laugh at me. So I actually take an essential oil based correction, there's not essential oils in this, but it's from the company that I get my essential oils from. I take a kids pre and probiotic. This stuff is amazing. So they're these little sticks. They're these little tear packets that you tear off and you basically eat like a pixie stick and they taste like fruit punch, and I take one every morning and they're amazing. But there's plenty of really good probiotics. You want a full spectrum probiotic that has more than one strain. The more strains, the better, and the better quality, the better. So unfortunately, probiotics are not something you want to skimp on. You don't want to get the $2.99 probiotic because you know they're super, super cheap ones. You also don't need to get the $80 one, right? But you don't want to skimp on it. That is really, really, really important. If there's one supplement to take, that would be it. And then let's talk about some other supplements. I don't think I brought these ones here. I've got a whole little table, but there's an essential oil blend called Digize that is so good. So good. That thing, I keep bottles on me everywhere because I'm really sensitive to some foods. And so to keep your digestive health going, if I've eaten too much or if I know that a food isn't gonna go well with me or if I go out to a restaurant, I just take a little bit and I put it in my water and I drink it, and it helps my digestive system immensely. Have you ever gone and eaten too much, or like you made a bad choice at a restaurant? Come back home, take some Digize, rub it on your stomach, just the exterior on your skin, and it's not gonna smell great, I'll be upfront with you, because it's got anise and fennel and ginger and tarragon and all those good digestive support oils in it. It's gonna smell like a spice factory, but it will be amazing. Yeah, Digize is a heavy hitter. It is so good, guys. It is so good. So good. If you do an elimination diet and take a pre and probiotic and take Digize every day for 30 to 60 days, woo, you'll be good. No digestive issues from there. And then not only will you feel good and you won't be as bloated and you won't feel as terrible, but your hormones will naturally be able to, you'll be able to support your hormones a little bit better. just naturally without any supplementation, which is amazing. Okay, so that's tip number 3, ensure a healthy digestion and healthy gut. Number 4, ensure daily intentional movement or exercise. Okay, I'm gonna go on my soapbox here for just a quick second, humor me. I love exercise, love exercise. When I was going through all these hormone challenges, I was running at least 3 marathons a year. I was running 35 miles a week. I was exercise queen because I thought that I was gaining weight because I wasn't exercising enough. And what was I doing? I was wearing my body down. I was contributing to my stress. So sometimes, perhaps counterintuitively, you think that the better thing to do to get healthy is to start exercising a ton more. I would say that it's to have intentional movement. Now, if you get no exercise, then I would start with walking, and that is a great option. I still take walks. I love walking. Walking is an amazing form of exercise. A brisk walk is perfect. That's it. That's all you need. Now, if you want to ramp it up and fatigue is not an issue for you and your adrenals are not an issue for you, then go do whatever makes you happy. I don't care if that's tennis or yoga or CrossFit or weightlifting or racquetball or swimming or hiking, or it does not matter. Just do some sort of intentional movement or exercise every single day. What commonly happens is that people will say, oh, well, I need to get in shape, and then they go straight to the extreme, and they go to Barry's Boot Camp or Orange Theory or CrossFit or something. And look, I love all of those. I'm a CrossFit instructor. I'm a United States Association of Weightlifting certified trainer, all that good stuff, right? I love that stuff. I have had to severely cut back on that because of stress. So if you are in a situation where your stress hormones are not controlled, and you know you're not getting enough sleep, and you know that things are out of whack, and you know that you're not feeling optimal, I would stay away from the high intensity stuff. And I would just keep with the walk, keep with whatever else. And for those of you who are like, well, I won't lose weight, then let's dig into food. Let's dig into food, because you can solve a lot of your weight problems with food and making sure that your foods are based in whole foods and that you're not eating too much, and then you can worry about it. But a brisk walk every single day should be good. Okay, enough with my soapbox. Walking and low stress working out, stretching, yoga, all that great stuff, 30 minutes a day. We do have some amazing essential oil based things to help with sore muscles and joints. So an essential oil blend called Deep Relief. Another supplement that I think I have here that I take every single day called Agiles. And this is one that helps with inflammation. So it has all sorts of great stuff. So frankincense, turmeric, and wintergreen oil, copaiba, clove, all sorts of good essential oils that all help your body's natural ability to fight inflammation. So that is a great, great supplement. My husband is obsessed with this. He is a weightlifting coach and weightlifts for like 4 hours a day, and he could not live without that. So that's a good one. Okay, so number 4 is ensuring intentional movement and exercise. You guys ready for number 5? We've got 2 left. 2 left. Number 5 is eliminating harmful toxins from your home. Okay, so one of the things that I realized is that working on my sleep and working on food only got me so far, but I was still having hormone challenges. And what I didn't understand is that going through my life, there were things that were artificially affecting my hormones, okay? Things in my home that I thought I was making good choices about that were artificially either increasing my hormones or decreasing my hormones, depending on what hormone, okay? Ashley said I was just saying I need more Agiles. Yeah, it's so good. And so the reason why, and this is the very short version, we've got plenty of videos that we've done in this group on this topic, and we'll do more in the future too. So stay tuned if you want to know more about this. But there are many products in the United States. I'll just talk about the United States for right now, since most of you are here in the US. There are many products here in the United States that have terrible ingredients in them. Everything from home cleaning stuff, so your Clorox, your bleach, your 409, to makeup, to skincare, everything that we put on our bodies or in our homes, or furniture polish, or floor cleaner, or carpet cleaner, all things like that, right? A lot of those products have very terrible toxic chemicals in them, okay? And the reason why that's important is because a lot of those harmful chemicals, not only, you would think that like, yes, you understand that they're terrible to breathe in because it hurts and you cough or you might sneeze. But beyond that, they have things in them that disrupt your hormones. We call them endocrine disruptors, and they are actually in most of the products that you will find in any conventional store that has home cleaning products, makeup, or skincare, okay? And so what's happening is that if you think about when you wake up in the morning, right? Think about your morning routine. I'll just go through a typical morning routine. You get up, you put deodorant on. You get up, you put makeup on. You get up, you might wipe down the counters in your kitchen. Through the course of an hour or two, you might be exposed to 40 or 50 different endocrine disruptors in those products, right? And so what happens is if you have an underlying hormone issue, especially if it's not dealt with and your immune system is not great, that is going to keep you from making a full recovery and feeling your best. And even just switching out the makeup and the home cleaning products in your home will make a huge difference in your hormones, a huge difference in your hormones. And so we as American women, by the time that we are out the door, before 9 a.m., we are exposed to over 300 toxic chemicals, and many, if not most of those, are disrupting our hormones. And here's the problem. You would think, no, we've got the FDA, right? The FDA wouldn't let that happen. Well, guess what? The European Union bans 1,500 different chemicals, many of those hormone disruptors. Guess how many by comparison the US bans? 30. And out of those 30 that we ban, 20 of them are no longer even in production. So ultimately, it's like we've really only banned 10 chemicals. 10 chemicals, that's it. And companies are smart, right? Companies are smart, especially companies that want to get around regulations and taxes and things like that. And what they'll do is they know that they're not supposed to use certain things, or they know that consumers are pretty smart and read labels, and so they will just rename chemicals or find another variation of it. Or even worse, just put it as parfum or fragrance. And you don't have to disclose chemicals that are in fragrance. So we're talking about phthalates, we're talking about xenoestrogens, things that actually mimic estrogen in your body, right? So if you already have disrupted estrogen and you're already not feeling well, then you want to put a bunch of skin cream on or makeup, assuming that it's going to help you, and it's got xenoestrogens that are going to jack with your estrogen levels. Like, it's just terrible, right? And you wouldn't think that this would be a big deal, but if you're talking about 300 exposures every single day, so if you're like me, like I wear makeup and deodorant and, you know, hairspray, whatever, like all that stuff, right? 300 things a day, if that was only one day, wouldn't be that big of a deal, okay? Wouldn't be that big of a deal, but it's every single day. So think about 300 exposures, 365 days a year for 35 years. Now it might start to make sense that we have skyrocketing cancer rates and infertility rates and obesity rates and all these kind of hormonal issues, right? Even after people get food right, we're still, just as a nation in particular, like, it's just sad. Heart disease, all sorts of things out of control. And the problem is we don't have any laws to protect us. So because we don't have laws to protect us, I am not going to trust most of the things that are on the shelves. And I know I've done videos in here before on this, but even the high-end brands, I don't care if you're shopping at Nordstrom's or Bloomingdale's or Lush or Origins or these so-called green brands. Like, I'm sorry to call, you know, companies out or stores out if those are your favorite. It's everything in Target. It's, you name it, there are so many brands that you have in your home that are not doing you well. It's 409, it's bleach, it's Lysol, it's Windex, it's all that kind of stuff. They all have hormone disruptors in them. And so if you've never heard this stuff before, your brain is about to explode right now, and you're like, wait, but who can I trust? I don't understand. What am I supposed to do? Like, literally throw everything out? Kinda, but it's actually a lot easier than that, right? It's actually a lot easier than that. So part of the reason why I fell in love with this particular company that I've been sharing these products about, and a lot of these ladies who are on here tonight I know are with me and have found each in their own journeys this same exact company, is because there are companies out there that you can trust. There are companies out there that have an incredible heart and an incredible ethic, and they care about your health, and it's not about the profit. It's about getting good things into the hands of people. And there are others. There are plenty of good companies out there, but I will tell you the one that most of us have landed on here in this particular group is a company called Young Living. And again, it's an essential oil company, but it's so much more. Essential oils are the basis for a whole line of products. So every speck of makeup that I am wearing right now is all toxin free. Did you know, by the way, that it is extremely common for lead to be found in lipstick? Lead, right? Lead. If you've ever bought a house, you know that you have to disclose lead when you buy a house that's before, what, 1978 or whatever. And you've got to have like a whole like lead disclosure form, but you can go to your CVS and you can buy lead that you literally put on your lips that you are eating. Like, it just doesn't make sense, right? And if you didn't know this, most lipsticks in America are made in the same 4 cosmetic factories. Wet n Wild and Tom Ford and everything in between, all made in the same factories. So it's not like if you're like, oh, well, I buy Charlotte Tilbury or I buy Naked or what, like whatever your favorite makeup, I buy MAC. I used to work at a MAC. I used to love MAC. Unfortunately, it is not safe. It's so terrible, right? So flippin' scary. Exactly right, Ashley. But there are companies out there that make amazing makeup. And at first I was skeptical, totally skeptical, because I thought there's no way that this hippie makeup will actually work well. Well, it works amazingly. This is, it's a mineral makeup. It's amazing. If you haven't ever used mineral makeup, it's like a 2-day transition. You figure it out and then it's super easy and it lasts all day long. Unlike cream foundation, amazing mascara. This lipstick that I'm using right now, I'm gonna touch my neck because I'm obsessed with this lipstick. It's so good. So anyways, makeup is a great way to switch out. And again, I'm giving these to you in order. So if you feel overwhelmed right now at all this information, don't feel overwhelmed. It's a slow transition, right? You can transition a couple things at a time. It doesn't have to be all overnight. But as your makeup wears out, you can replace it with good makeup, right? Or if you want to throw it all out now, great, but you can really easily make some transitions and make some super simple switches that will have huge impacts, huge impacts. So makeup and household cleaners. Okay, guys, if you're gonna do one thing, switch out your household cleaner. Switch out your household cleaner. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna share with you how you can get a 30 to 60, maybe even 90 days cleaning supply if you live by yourself for free as a sample. But this Thieves Cleaner is an essential oil-based cleaner, and you can research away if you are doubting its efficacy. Get on PubMed or Google Scholar and type in cinnamon and thyme essential oils and read all about how they are just as effective in killing all the nasties. They are just as effective. So you can get rid of the harmful 409 and Windex and bleach, or even the like supposedly green brands like 7th Generation and Method and Mrs. Meyer's and all that stuff. They're still all riddled with synthetic perfumes that are hormone disruptors. So it's terrible, right? So an easy way to just get rid of all of it is to switch out to an essential oil-based multi-purpose cleaner. So like many of you on this video, I use this cleaner to clean my bathrooms, my counters, my leather seats, my carpet, everything, literally everything. I don't have another cleaner in my house. If it needs cleaning, this does it. And my house smells like Christmas all year round because it's cinnamon and thyme and lemon, and it's amazing. I've actually convinced my cleaning lady to use it. It's so good. So, eliminate harmful toxins from your home. So ultimately, my recommendation would be to eliminate all those xenoestrogens and all those hormone disruptors, is to get rid of your traditional cleaning products and get rid of your traditional makeup, and take it one step at a time, right? Use an all-purpose cleaner and maybe switch out your mascara. Like, that's it. Just take a little step. And then maybe the next month you switch out your lipstick, and maybe the next month you switch out your foundation, and then maybe the next month you switch out your blush, right? It doesn't have to be all at once, but little by little, you can easily create a non-toxic home that is no extra work for you. Super, super simple. Okay, last tip. After you've done all that, or maybe in concert, now let's talk about directly supporting your hormones, okay? So all the stuff we've talked about is just the foundation. Now we're gonna talk about actually directly supporting your hormones. I'm gonna talk to you about essential oils that you can use, and then I'm gonna talk to you about some supplements that you can use. And all of these are gonna be on this PDF that I'm gonna send out. It'll have pictures. I know you can't really see that very well, but it'll have pictures of all of this on the back. And then it's going to give you an idea of how to get a hold of these if that's something you want to dig into. How many of you guys are pumped for that? If you want this PDF, comment yes, please, if you haven't already, okay? So directly supporting hormone balance. So number one, you can go and pay on your own for a hormone panel if you choose. but it's definitely not necessary, not required. You can do some amazing things that are not taking medication. They're just supporting them naturally with essential oils. And yes, you can do an amazing job supporting your hormones with essential oils. I would recommend starting there and see what happens over the course of 90 days. Okay, so let's talk about hormones for the ladies, and then we'll talk about hormones for the men. So ladies, I'm gonna give you 3 recommendations of 3 essential oil blends that you can take to support your hormones. And they're each a little bit different. So I'm gonna start with the one that is so good. It's just a over general balance. This is one called Sclarescence, okay? So this is an essential oil blend that balances the body's own hormones naturally. And really that's what we're going for, is we're going for general hormone balance, okay? So this is going to do that naturally using plant-based phytoestrogens. So if your body needs something, you know, one of those 6 or any one of the other ones that exist in your body, this is going to naturally help that become more in balance. A great one, that's called Sclarescence. Number 2, this is an essential oil blend called Progessence Plus. And Progessence Plus, it's formulated to balance and enhance the natural effects of progesterone. So I told you earlier that I needed help with progesterone. And this thing is amazing. First of all, it smells fantastic. I love the smell of it. I put this on my wrists every single day. Oh, it's so good. And it helps greatly. So again, it's formulated to balance and enhance the natural effects of progesterone. So this is a great one. Fantastic one. I know so many of you ladies, use that. And then for those of you who have trouble around your cycle, your period is painful, your breasts swell, you got swelling and cramping and all sorts of terrible symptoms around your period, there's an oil blend for that called Dragon Time, which is so appropriately named. I love it. I would die without this, right? So even with a balanced hormone or a set of hormones now, like I'm feeling much, much, much better. I still get pretty painful cramps about once every 3 months. And so I slather this on my abdomen about 5 times a day, sometimes even on my breasts, like if they hurt or they're tender or they're swollen. This is amazing. So ladies, there's a whole bunch of essential oils that you can use. Men, let's talk about men. And I didn't grab my husband's oils, but he has every single one of those. So there's 3 recommendations that I would have. And if you guys are watching the replay, definitely go back to the front because definitely want you to catch that stuff. So men, there's 3 different essential oil blends that I recommend for men. Number 1 is called Shutron. This is a blend that's designed to boost your male hormones and confidence. This is an incredible blend, guys. How can I say this? So at first I didn't know, I was like, this smells interesting. But after a while, and I'd say like a week or 2, I realized that I had like a crazy physical reaction to this oil. So ladies, if you are partnered with a man and you want your man to smell irresistible and for him to feel irresistible, this is the oil blend. This is it. It is all sorts of hormone inducing. It is still amazing. It's incredible. He has soap, beard oil, all sorts of stuff, all made with the same blend, and it is like it's sparks. That's all I'll say. Second is a blend called Mister, M-I-S-T-E-R, Mister. This specifically, this is pretty cool. This is an oil blend that helps decongest the prostate and promote greater hormone balance, okay? So that is what this blend is for. So this is another one that is a balancing equalizer if there are any hormone disorders there, okay? So those are 2 that I would try if a man in your life needs hormone support, or if there's any men on here, I haven't seen any yet, but if there's a man who wants some extra hormone support, even if he doesn't have any symptoms, it's great just to have a daily swipe of those oils. First of all, he can wear it as cologne and it smells really good, and you will find it sexy, I guarantee you, and it will help his hormones just stay in balance, which is fantastic. And then there's one more. This is another oil that is actually not on the sheet, but I wanted to talk about it anyway, and it's called Goldenrod. And Goldenrod helps support male reproductive organs. So without getting too graphic, if you would like some male organ support and you don't want to take a little blue pill and you want a natural assistance, or even if you don't have quite a challenge with that, but you just want to maintain something a little bit longer, if you get what I mean, Goldenrod is your oil. TMI? I don't know. Anyways, okay. So now that we've talked about sex and all sorts of good things, let's talk about supplements. So this is a way, in addition to essential oils, these are all supplements that you can take that are not prescription required. They are not a medication, but they are supplements that you can use to help you support your hormones. So I don't think I have this one. I didn't grab all of them. Okay, I have most all of these. Endogize. This is a great one that helps maintain a healthy endocrine system, which regulates basically everything. So if you know that you just kind of have general dysfunction, Endogize is a great one. Another one that I use so often, I don't use it every single day all year round, but when I need it, when I feel like I need some more hormone support, this is one called PD8020. And this is another supplement to support your endocrine system. So this one has pregnenolone and DHEA, and these are the hormones that kind of naturally decline with age, but are really, really important for mental acuity and immune system and cardiovascular health. So if you look at the sheet after you get it, after I send it to you, and you're like, yep, pregnenolone and DHEA might be something that I have challenges with, this is a really good supplement for that, PD8020. It's fantastic. Okay, there's another one called Thyromin, which I forgot to grab. That's okay. So another one called Thyromin. If you know that you need some support with your thyroid, Thyromin is a great one. It's developed to nourish the thyroid, to balance metabolism and reduce fatigue. And it contains specific selected glandular nutrients, herbs, amino acids, minerals, and essential oils. So if you know you have a thyroid problem, this is what you want to take in the evening before you go to sleep. It's fantastic. I take it every single night. It's up by my bedstand, which is why I forgot to grab it. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is it's a lotion actually called Pregnenolone Plus. Pregnenolone Plus, and it's a little purple bottle, and it contains pregnenolone, DHEA, progesterone, blue and black cohosh, ylang-ylang, clary sage, and all the essential oils. So if you need help with pregnenolone and you are pregnenolone deficient, this is a great supplement for you. Oh my Lord. Okay guys, that's a lot of information. So if you have questions, whether you're on live or on the replay, I want you to comment below with what your questions are so far, and I am going to tell you what you can do to get started with all of these amazing supplements so you can integrate them to the 6 steps. And if you want me to go over the 6 steps real quick, hold on, because I'm gonna forget what they are. Okay, 6 steps, ready? 7 to 8 hours of sleep, maintain a healthy stress level, ensure healthy digestion and a healthy gut, ensure daily intentional movement and exercise, eliminate harmful toxins from your home, and then directly support your hormones. Those are the 6 steps to healthy hormones. If you didn't catch the front, make sure you go back and watch from the start because there's lots of good information. So if you guys would like access to these supplements, which I am telling you are life-changing, there's a whole community behind that. Here is what you do. First of all, you start with what we call a premium starter kit. Basically, all of these supplements are available on an online warehouse, and that warehouse, you access that warehouse basically by buying a premium starter kit. And what a premium starter kit is it's an essential oil kit that has 10 plus a bonus oil, so 11 total essential oils plus a diffuser of your choice. So you get ones like lavender that will help with sleep. You get ones like frankincense that will help with mood. You get lemon, which is good for digestive support. You get Digest, which is great for digestive support. So all of the things that we talked about, all of those 6 steps, there's basically an oil for each of those. There's one for sore muscles and joints for your exercise regimen, or even just your yoga and your stretching regimen. There's all sorts of good oils. So literally every one of those 6 steps, there's a corresponding oil or 2 or 3 in that kit. And then you get a big, beautiful diffuser, which I should have brought in here, but I didn't. I don't know what I was thinking. Big, beautiful diffuser so that you can get that emotional support and that physical support all in one. Okay, so you buy that kit, which is, trust me, the best thing you'll ever get. And what comes free with that kit is quite incredible, actually. It comes with a sample of this Thieves Cleaner, and the sample in there will make 2 16-ounce bottles. So when you buy that kit, not only are you getting all the essential oils that can help you with that, you're getting, again, 2 of these spray bottles. So I don't know about you, but I don't go through 2 bottles of spray cleaner a month, right? This is for the 2 of us in my house, 2 of us plus a dog. This is about 60 days of cleaning, maybe 30 days. but it's gonna make 2 of those. So at least 60, if not 90 to 120 days of healthy home cleaning. So you can easily, you know, toss the 409 and the bleach and all that kind of other stuff, and you can clean everything in your house with that. So that's amazing. So then once you buy that kit, we plug you into our community because you will have like so many people cheering you on, and if you have any questions, answering questions for you and just sharing their experiences and all that good stuff. You can access the wisdom of all the people who have kind of dealt with all of these same things. So we plug you into our community, which is amazing. And then the great part of that is that you have access to all of these in an online store, right? It's unbelievable. All of this stuff in an online store. But when you buy the premium starter kit up front, you get all of this stuff at 24% off, 24% off. So you basically get wholesale prices. So when you buy a premium starter kit with the 11 oils, plus the healthy home cleaner, plus a diffuser, plus it actually comes with a liquid supplement called Ningxia Red, which is a great whole body supplement that I probably should have talked about, but I didn't because there's so much stuff to cover. I can't cover it all in one video. But you get all of that in one amazing kit, and it's well worth it. It's like 3 to 4 months of healthy living all in one box, right? But then again, you get access to an online store of all this kind of stuff at wholesale prices. So imagine for a second if you walked into Target, but Target was all healthy products, no hormone disruption, no endocrine disruption, nothing like that. And when you checked out, they gave you 24% off. Oh, by the way, and then they shipped it to your door. That sounds pretty amazing, right? Oh, by the way, and they gave you access to like a community of people that helped you with how to use things and sharing, you know, tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff, right? That sounds amazing because it actually exists. So you can do that. And then you can get all these supplements at wholesale prices, and it is fantastic. Let's see, I wanna look through my notes here and make sure. Okay, so why is this important? So this is really important for a couple reasons. Remember how I said most of the companies don't have your best interests in mind? Not because they're evil people, but they want to save money. And it's cheaper to use crappy ingredients than it is to use ingredients that actually cost a lot of money and take a lot of time. You know, so each of these bottles, this represents a farm. So the company that I'm talking about here, Young Living, is incredible. The reason why they're different and the reason why they have your best interest in mind is because they care about your health, and they actually want to see healthy products get into the hands of everyone, because they believe, as I do, as so many of us do, that we can change the health of the world with our wallets. We can buy products that are good for us, that actually support our health instead of detract for it, and we can provide jobs and do it sustainably without hurting the environment, provide for farmers who are actually growing the plants that end up in this bottle. And oh, by the way, this company owns their own farms. So they really put their money where their mouth is. So unlike any other essential oil company on the planet, there is no other that owns their own farms globally that you can go and visit. So this company harvests frankincense from trees in Oman in the Middle East, right? I'm trying to think. This company owns their own lavender farms in France and Utah, of all places. But again, they own their own farms. So here's why that's important, is because you can be assured that what ends up in this bottle is actually what we say it is, right? It doesn't have any synthetics. It doesn't have any added perfumes. It isn't cut with anything. It is of the highest quality. And the reason why that's important is because it's actually going to help you do the things that it's supposed to do. It's going to help you sleep. And unfortunately, if you go grab a bottle of essential oil from an Amazon or a Target or a Walmart, or like, I'm embarrassed to say that when I first started out, I was buying oils on the clearance rack at Marshall's because I didn't know any better. I just thought oils were oils were oils. And I was like, meh, they don't work. They don't really smell that great. Guess what? It's because they weren't really oils. They were some sort of like synthetic perfume nonsense that didn't actually physically help me. It wasn't until I got a bottle of this where I realized, oh my Lord, that is what they're supposed to do. There's a huge difference. But owning their own farms, they can control the process, right? So this company can make sure that from the time that the seed is picked and destined to plant in the soil, all the way through the growing and the harvesting and the distillation and the bottling, there are multiple points where they check and test and make sure that it is the utmost purity, no pesticides ever. So I get the question a lot, is it organic? It is more than organic. It is absolutely of the utmost highest quality, no pesticides ever. It is higher than organic quality. If there is weeding done, it's all done by hand. And many of us on this video have actually physically been to the farms. I've been to the farms in Utah twice. They are incredible. It is so cool. I got the opportunity last summer and the summer before to plant lavender. So who knows, a couple years from now, one of these bottles will have some little drop of lavender that I planted in it, which is so cool. But there's farms in the Philippines and Croatia and Utah and France, all over the world, Bulgaria, you name it. So all of this stuff, like, you can figure out where the oils came from. It is not a mystery. As where when you're going into a store or you're searching on Amazon, like, you have no idea even what chemicals that are in that, let alone who grew them or where they're from, right? Is a huge difference. So not all created equal. This is by far the best company. And it's not just essential oils. There are 400 plus products. I think at last count there were like 427 products. Hold on one second. So what's really cool is when you buy that starter kit, you get access to the whole warehouse, And this is actually a product catalog. I'm obsessed with all of these products. So if you really feel like switching out, maybe switching out your makeup, like, we have tons of makeup, right? There are all sorts of lovely things. So it's basically like one-stop shopping for all your healthy stuff. Now, frequently asked question, do I have to buy routinely? No, you absolutely don't have to, but you could, right? You absolutely don't have to. So what we recommend is that you start with a premium starter kit. That gives you a kit of 11 oils plus a diffuser, plus your healthy home cleaner, plus our best-selling liquid supplement that also helps with digestion and hormones. That gives you that, and then you have access to everything 24% off. So if you'd like to buy something, you are more than welcome to, but you do not have to. There is no minimum requirement. There is nothing that you ever have to do. You don't ever have to buy anything again. You can just try your oils and see if you like them, and that is it. Or if you want to start switching out a couple things a month, you can absolutely do that, which is what we would recommend. So just kind of to recap, highly recommend a premium starter kit, and we will share with you exactly how to get that. In fact, I'll also put it in these notes when I send it to you guys, how to get that. That gives you the starter kit plus 24% off anything you ever get. Anything beyond that, 24% off. It comes with a bonus oil called Stress Away, which is amazing. It does exactly what it says. Stress, like, relieves your stress. Comes with a again, like 60 to 120 day sample of Thieves Household Cleaner, which is fantastic. You can throw away all the toxic cleaners in your home. Comes with a community of amazing people. Comes with tons of friendship, which is crazy. If you want it, if you don't, that's fine too. Comes with references, all sorts of references. So I didn't really cover how you use all of these oils, but there's so many easy references. We have an easy kind of onboarding video which shows you exactly how to use the oils in the kit. You'll get something in the mail that shows you exactly how to use the oils in your kit. We have videos that show you how to use the oils in your kit. Like, you will never be confused about how to use the oils in your kit, trust me. And that's it. So ultimately, if you'd like to start making a change in your hormones, you can do that starting tonight. Absolutely, we will be there to cheer you on. If you loved this information and you're like, no, I'm good, absolutely, we thank you so much for being here. But for those of you who are super serious about taking some forward changes and you don't want to spend the like $4,000 to $8,000 that I did, and your doctors aren't necessarily giving you what you need, I would recommend that you give it a shot, because you really don't have a whole lot to lose. There's about 1 million people per year starting with these products. And so it's not a fad. This company has been around for 25 years. So I know that essential oils have gotten a lot more popular lately, but this is really the gold standard company globally. And we are a global company, which is really, really cool. So it doesn't really matter what what country you're from, you can definitely get them. So I am really excited to share with you guys how to get your hands on these oils. So number one, if you haven't already commented, yes, please do that, and I will send you the notes sometime tonight. There's a lot of you guys, so hopefully I'll be able to complete all that tonight. And if someone specifically invited you to this group and you would like to get started, an easy way to get started as soon as possible is just to message them or call them or text them or whatever, however they invited you, however you can get a hold of them and say, hey, yes, I'd like to get started. Can you send me your referral link? So this company is a referral-based company. And basically what that means is that we don't hire celebrities to do the talking for us, right? Or like pay for big fancy ads, different places. We just ask that people who love the products share about the products. I would be sharing about these products no matter what. And so here we are. So go back to the person who invited you here and say, I would love to get started, and they will help you with their referral link. All right, guys. I hope that helps. Thank you so much. I see a lot of thank yous. You are so welcome. I know this was a very long class, but tons of good information, I hope, that will help you with your health, your energy, all sorts of good stuff. So remember, go back to the person who invited you here and let them know that you want to get started. And I appreciate you guys so, so, so very much. Have a good night.